Dust coiled around Draven's boots as he stepped through the skeletal remains of a burnt-out transport. Heat shimmered off the twisted metal, warping the distant skyline where collapsed towers pierced the sky like broken ribs. The scrap heap stretched for miles, a graveyard of machines that once roared through battles now silenced by time and sand. Draven kept his eyes low, his breath shallow through the filter of his cracked rebreather. He moved with practiced ease, sweeping the ground with a rust-scratched scanner. It crackled occasionally, mostly false positives. Power cores drained dry. Circuit board fused. But today felt different. There was something here, something deep and old humming beneath the ruin. He stopped, a glint, barely visible beneath a veil of ash and bone-dry cables. He knelt, pried apart a collapsed wing panel, and found it, a buried exoshell, matte black under the dust, the curved plates catching the sun in a dull shimmer. It was mercenary armor, unmistakably high-grade, custom-mold titanium weave, integrated combat AI ports, neural spike connectors. A dead man's skin. Now, Draven exhaled slowly. This wasn't ordinary salvage. He glanced around. Still alone. He reached down, fingers brushing the armor's shoulder plate. "I wouldn't do that," a voice said behind him. Draven froze. The voice was low, smooth, laced with threat like silk hiding a blade. "Put it back," it continued, "or you're next." He turned slowly, hands still near the armor. The figure standing 10 feet behind him was striking, tall, armored in sleek, cobalt-toned plating, form-fitted yet flexible. Her skin was not quite human, a shade of blue dusted with starlight, eyes unreadable behind a thin visor that retracted as she stepped closer. Draven straightened but didn't retreat. "I didn't know it was claimed." "It isn't," she said. "It's sacred." He raised an eyebrow. "Looks like trash to me." She advanced another step, and he saw the weapon holstered at her hip, some hybrid plasma blade tech, rare and expensive. The kind used by elite units, not drifters or raiders. I said, "Put it back." "You planning to kill me over scrap?" "Over that scrap? Absolutely." Draven studied her. Not just a scavenger. Soldier, maybe, or something older. He lifted his hands, slowly stepping back from the armor, then crouched beside it again, not touching it, just watching her reaction. "You knew the man who wore this," he said. She didn't answer. "I've seen armor like this before, but not this clean, not this personal." The silence between them thickened, the wind sighing through rusted ribs of fallen ships. Finally, she spoke. "He died here, 2 years ago. His last message led me to this place." Draven tilted his head. "So why didn't you take the armor?" She hesitated. "Because I wasn't ready." He tapped the side of his scanner, still crouched. "This armor, it's got sealed data. Core logs haven't degraded. Could be worth something." "I'm not here for credits," she said. "But someone else might be. This isn't just a memorial. It's bait." That got her attention. He stood, brushing grit from his hands. "Look around. You think you're the only one tracking old ghosts." She moved suddenly, fast. In a blur, she was beside him, one hand on the armor, the other on her weapon. "I don't need your analysis." "No," he said quietly, "but you might need my help." She studied him, suspicious. "Who are you?" "Draven. Engineer, once. Scavenger, now. No faction, no flag." Her jaw clenched. "And you just happen to be crawling through this scrapyard." Draven shrugged. "I go where the signal leads." Something about this place felt wrong. She glanced toward the horizon, where the faint hum of engines trembled against the wind. "We need to move," she said. Draven frowned. "That a threat?" "No," she replied. "That's a warning." Behind them, the wind shifted. A distant clatter. Metal on metal. Drones. Maybe. Or worse. "Help me carry it," she said suddenly. He blinked. "The armor?" "Yes." "I thought you were going to shoot me for touching it." She didn't smile, but her tone softened just a fraction. "Consider it a test you pass." Draven crouched again, fingers brushing the armor. This time, when he touched it, a faint pulse flickered beneath the plating. The HUD blinked once. Still alive. Whatever's in this thing, he muttered, it's still listening. She nodded. Then let's make sure the right ears hear it. Together, they lifted the armor and moved toward the shadows of the wreckage, the sun burning down behind them, and something unseen watching from beyond the dust. The interior of the crash freighter was a tomb of silence. Long shadows stretched through the broken hull, cast by the flicker of dying console lights and the occasional gust of sun through cracked metal seams. Draven crouched beside the armor, his tools spread across the floor, hands moving with the focus of someone threading a needle between two landmines. Across from him, the woman, Zyra, she'd finally offered, watched with her arms crossed. Her armor bore the marks of hard travel, singed edges, scotch seals, and hastily patched rips. She had the stillness of someone trained to act only when necessary. The kind of person who measured a room by kill angles, not comfort. This neural core is different, Draven muttered, prying back a panel on the armor's chest. It's not just for muscle assist. It's logging, storing something. Zyra didn't answer, but he felt her eyes narrow. Draven looked up. You said your comrade died here, but you didn't say how. Shot in the back, she said, by someone we trusted. He leaned back, the weight of that answer heavy between them. That happened a lot where you're from. Too often. She stepped closer, crouching beside him. His name was Calix. We served together in the Dusk March. Same unit for 5 years. This armor was custom forged for him. Military issue. Not officially. After the war, we took contract work. Black zones, proxy fronts, dirty jobs no one wanted their name on. And this job, she hesitated, was supposed to be a recovery op intel cache buried in no man's land. Syndicate remnants had left a trail, but it was a setup. Someone fed us bad coordinates, led us into a kill box. Draven looked back at the armor, and Calix didn't make it out. No one did, except me. She stood, voice tightening. I spent a year off-grid just finding the site. His final transmission came encoded through 6 dead relays. Draven returned his attention to the armor. Then he wanted you to find this, or someone to. He pressed a small interface spike into the suit's cortex. The lights blinked, then steadied. A low hum resonated through the ship's skeleton. Then a voice, crackled, digitized, unmistakably human, filled the room. Colon, if you're hearing this, then I'm dead. And they are coming for you too, Colon. Zyra stiffened. Draven froze. Colon, the data's in the suit. Coordinates. Logs. Names. All of it. Kale betrayed us. He made a deal with the Syndicate. Sold us out for a shipload of credits and a future in the cool worlds. If anyone hears this, expose him. Don't let him bury what we were. Colon. The message cut off in a cascade of static. Zyra turned away, hands curled into fists. Kale Thorne, she said, nearly spitting the name. Our commander. He ran operations like a prophet. Every mission had purpose. I believed in him. We all did. Draven disconnected the spike. Now he's trying to erase you, starting with this armor. He's already erased most of us. She turned to face him again, her voice hollow but burning. But he missed a piece. He packed away his tools, glancing toward the blown-out side of the freighter. The desert wind howled through the wreckage. This data's dangerous. If Kale's really the one behind this, then we're already targets. Zyra nodded. I've been one for a long time. You plan to go after him. I plan to end him. Draven raised an eyebrow. And you're bringing me along because? Because you activated the suit. That means it recognizes your neural signature now. That makes you part of this, whether you like it or not. He blinked. That's a hell of a recruitment pitch. You want to walk away? She asked. Draven glanced at the armor again. His fingers twitched with the impulse to tinker, to understand, to unlock what Calix had buried. But more than that, he felt the weight of the message still echoing in his skull. No, he said. I want to know how deep this goes. A sudden beat from his wrist scanner interrupted the silence. Incoming signal. Proximity alert. Zyra's hand went to her weapon instantly. How close? Draven adjusted the scanner, jaw tightening. 2 signatures. Fast. Ground vehicles. Kale's men. Could be scavengers. Could be bounty hunters. Either way, they are tracking the armor. Zyra moved to the edge of the wreckage, peering into the horizon. Dust clouds curled upward in the distance, riders on skimmers, sleek and armored. Fast, efficient, not local. She turned back. We move now. Draven shouldered his pack, hesitating only once before picking up the armor. Its weight was surprising, not heavy, but dense, as if it carried something more than metal. As they slipped out through a shattered fuselage and into the blistering light of the Deadlands, Draven couldn't help but glance sideways at Zyra. You sure we're not just walking into another trap? She didn't answer at first. Then, if we are, I plan to walk out the other side. They vanished into the dunes, just as the first shadows of pursuit crested the horizon. The nights on Carith's wound dropped fast. Heat bled into the cracked earth, and cold rose like a predator from the bones of the world. Draven hunched near a shallow fire made from scavenged battery coils, watching faint sparks flicker upward before vanishing into the void of the dead sky. Across from him, Zyra cleaned her blade in silence, the methodical scrape of cloth against steel the only sound between them. They hadn't spoken much since escaping the skimmer patrol. The chase had taken them through a jagged canyon laced with dormant sentry mines, remnant from some forgotten conflict. Draven's quick thinking with a jammed relay had saved them both, rerouting the mines to collapse the pass behind them. It bought time, but not safety. He shifted, eyes flicking toward the armor lying beside him, its plates dull under moonlight. The more he studied it, the more questions surfaced. Every panel was engineered for survival and secrecy. The core housed something more than memory, a purpose that hadn't fully awakened. Zyra broke the silence first. You handled yourself well back there. Draven didn't look up. It wasn't my first minefield. She nodded slowly. You served? He hesitated. I built systems for the Alliance. Shielding protocols. Drone AIS. Nothing glamorous. When the war ended, they dismantled the labs and left us floating. I figured if my designs could kill, I might as well learn how to survive what they created. That's more honest than most soldiers I've known. Draven's lips twitched into a brief smile. Honesty's all I've got left. That and a death which that flares up at inconvenient times. Zyra leaned forward. If we're going to take this all the way to Kale, you need to know what it's capable of. I've read some of the dossiers. Black Ops, ghost units, political blackmail. He played every side. No, she said, voice sharper. That's what they let you see. What you don't know is that Kale doesn't just eliminate threats. He rewrites a battlefield. He doesn't kill reputations. He erases them. Cities disappear under his command. Entire squadrons reclassified as deserters after being vaporized. Draven glanced at the armor. And this suit, it holds proof. More than proof. Coordinates, logs, voice files, and a list of the people he sold out, mercenaries, rebels, politicians. Some of them survived. Most didn't. Draven leaned back, exhaling slowly. So why hide it in a dead man's armor? Because Calix knew Kale would come looking, and he knew I'd come back. A silence passed between them, brittle and steeped in shared uncertainty. Then a low chime sounded from Draven's wrist module. He blinked, adjusted the interface. We've got movement. South Ridge. One signal. Human. Zyra was already up, weapon drawn. Send me the coordinates. They moved fast, climbing a narrow bluff that overlooked a dry basin scattered with rusted hulls. Through his scope, Draven caught sight of a figure moving deliberately through the wrecks. Armored, but not syndicate. Helmet mirrored. Heavy rifle slung across the back. Scout! Draven whispered. Zyra frowned. Too casual. This isn't Reckon. It's a message. The figure stopped in the open and looked up. A flicker, signal transmission. Draven's wrist module pinged. He opened the packet, a single encrypted file. No name, no origin trace. Zyra read over his shoulder. That's Kale's cipher. Draven decrypted it. What came through wasn't a threat. It was a recording, Calix's voice again, but this time calm, measured, and final. Zyra. If this reaches you, then Kale knows. He's not hunting shadows anymore. He's hunting you. The armor won't be enough. You'll need the original logs. Vault 9C, Dead Zone Theta. You know the place. Colon. Zyra clenched her jaw. I know it. Colon, one more thing, Calix added. Don't trust anyone who offers you a clean way out. They're already bought, colon. The message ended. The scout vanished, slipping into the night without a trace. Zyra turned to Draven. We're going to Theta. He didn't argue. The name alone chilled his blood. The dead zone wasn't a battlefield. It was a wound. A stretch of land poisoned by war tech, AI remnants, and failed terraforming. Most maps didn't even mark it anymore. They moved at dawn. The edges of Theta were haunted. Metallic trees fused with drone husks, the air thick with electromagnetic distortion. Draven's tools barely worked. Zyra guided them from memory, through sinkholes and collapsed bunkers until they reached a sunken comms tower, half swallowed by the ground. Inside, Vault 9C waited. Draven cracked the biometric seal, fingers moving through code like a pianist through memory. The door shuddered, then groaned open. Inside were rows of data cores, cold and humming faintly, and one chair, rusted, blood-stained, occupied by bones wrapped in a tattered cloak. Zyra stepped forward, kneeling beside the remains. She didn't speak. She didn't cry. She just placed a hand on the shoulder of what once was someone she trusted. Draven activated the cores. The display lit up, thousands of files, each tagged, time-stamped, and damning. It was all there, and outside, something waited.